in the ranks, till the rest figure out that they're only shooting blanks. Prophesying about Gehenna till their worried minds implode. Calm, cool, collected is our manner and our mode. Sulking in the corners or out up on the front lines. Lucky number 7, of every shape and every size. Living lives prolific where the line is prolific. Cheap shots, dark plots, and diablerie horrific. Painting pretty pictures for the weak in mortals' eyes. Perpetuate the masquerade to hide our guarded prize. Pontificating peace while our secrets always fill. Praying to the night and still retaining stubborn will. Step into Elysium and witness all the opulence. Kings and queens of modern age, luxury is new to us. Pinnacles of beauty and the height of black deception. Find your manners, boy, and you'll receive a nice reception.
Your enemies cower, you're holding the power, tugging strings of the puppets from the garbage men to presidents. Integrated with the mortal world, you cannot slip to this. Keep a secret, the mortals cannot see it. If they do, then you're screwed. You'll be hunted by me. No one has your back. You can go and break the masquerade. It's the only way we survive the coming of day. With the power comes with it a great responsibility. We make all of the deals, we'll always stay behind the scenes. We're making our business to be all up in yours. It's collecting porn, it's fucking underage chores. The mortal world calls you with things like your things. You only knew of the threat upon your life hangs. Only a civilized vampires are just to believe. All about getting over to bleach.
Join with us and rule the night. Us kindred, one and all our banner high. Raise it up now, stake your claim. Camarilla here to stay. Camarilla here to stay.
Team switch it up, I'm running with fam. Started up a coterie, call ourselves a blood clan. You know we don't run and have them see us survive. Motherfuckers run cause what we bring is flaming hot. One dude, one chick, we get bound for life. Camarilla soldiers still savages out in the night. Respecting the traditions and upholding the laws. Now bow down and kiss ass or you'll follow our claws.
There never was an evil so determined and fresh. Never bluffing, always fighting, new sense of the flesh. Wicked to the core like the apple of the witch. Through our scheming and our dreaming we are striking it rich. He's the Clyde to my Bonnie and the Sid to my Nancy. Brother with the brains and the sisters so entrancing. Prepping for the camera, we're always at the decline. It's an eye for an eye, but we're never ever blind.
Join with us and rule the night. Us kindred, one and all our banner high. Raise it up now, stake your claim. Camarilla here to stay. 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 Camarilla here to stay.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Martlet Games on this Saturday afternoon. I am Patrick, your storyteller for this wonderful little 5th edition Vampire the Masquerade one-shot. Joining me from Martlet today is Steve, and you will see that we have 2 fresh faces here. We will definitely get to their introductions here in just a moment. But now time for the obligatory, this is a mature stream, questionable content. You're watching Vampire the Masquerade, you kind of know what you're in for, but definitely be mindful that we do explore lots of mature adult themes in this show, and viewer discretion is advised. Definitely it will not break anyone's hearts if you have to step away for a moment. It's appreciated that you thought to give us your eyes in the first place, so thank you. But we'll go ahead and we'll roll through the intros here, and then we'll dive into Twisting Ashes. So Steve, go ahead and kick this off here.
Everybody, I'm Stephen Rieger. I'll be playing Mr. Danny Smits, the Gangrel.
And next up is Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben, Big Dad Walker from Carrion Comfort Studios. I am playing Chet, the Banu Hakim.
And finally, we have Joe. There we go.
Hi. There we go. Hi, I'm Joanna, and I'm from Vancouver by night, and I will be playing Liza the Toreador tonight, this afternoon, this morning, wherever you are.
Is yes. So, now by your three powers combined, you form a coterie called the Harriers. The Harriers are Prince Israel Jones of Sioux City's, we'll say personal errand runners, co-workers, gophers, sometimes cannon fodder if the situation calls for it. However, Chet, Danny, and Liza have proven themselves to be of invaluable use to the Camarilla here in Sioux City, and find themselves in quite the interesting position as these nights progress. It has been a long time since we've actually checked in the conditions in Sioux City proper, and that is kind of where we were going to start this off here. So, there's a cat. Cats are welcome on stream. He's going to get comfy there and just chill. Which one is that? Thor or Loki? And your audio is gone.
The animalism is still kicking in right here. This is Loki.
Excellent. So, the three of you are in what could be classified as Sheriff Jones's office. This is basically the back room in a loading warehouse that used to be kind of under the UPS umbrella, but when they went and moved on to a bigger and better sorting facility, the property went up for sale, and it just so happens that Sheriff Jones had his hands in the purchase. This does suit his needs because the warehouse itself is actually a hop, skip, and a jump over to the airport, which is where Sheriff Jones actually spends a good majority of his evenings, keeping tabs on the airport and making sure that the local TSA and other FAA officials stay firmly within Camarilla control. This has become one of Prince Jackson of Chicago's little pet projects, and so far it has actually paid very good dividends for the kindred of Sioux City and the Camarilla as a whole. Non-affiliated kindred can make arrangements to get a flight anywhere in the country as long as they are willing to trade boons for the privilege. Camarilla members, however, can come and go as they please, just so long as they clear everything with Sheriff Jones and Prince Jimenez first. And sometimes the Harriers end up having to run herd on, we'll say, troublemakers that don't necessarily want to pay for their plane ticket. And that is where we find them now, kind of debriefing Sheriff Jones from the night before. The circumstances revolving around last night have to do with a brouhaha trying to get out to the Free Estates and not wanting to trade a major boon in exchange for the service. The Harriers kindly showed him the error of his ways, and now Sheriff Jones is one boon richer, and the coterie here is basking in the praise, maybe. But Sheriff Jones, he's kicking back behind his desk, He's wearing a pair of like Army Navy surplus green camouflage BDUs. He does have on a black hoodie, even though it is the end of June. But he's looking at the three of you, kind of filing his nails. So the brew hall last night would like to say thank you for giving him a little bit of the encouragement that he needed to get on the plane.
Encouragement. I like that.
Yeah. By the way, one of you all is going to need to have to take the plunger and get that dent out of the hood of my Escalade. But anyway, something's came across my interest, and I think it's best that you all take this one for me. I actually have to get back to the airport, believe it or not. Some lick from out in Denver is needing to get the hell out of town, and something about Chicago and needing to talk to Prince Jackson, and I, quite frankly, don't have the time to deal with this other thing. So, he puts a dossier or a manila file folder on his desk, and you can see it's kind of stuffed with papers. Whoever ends up taking the file folder and starts examining it, will see it's basically a quick sheet on Elisabetta Giovanni, who is the leader / organizer of the local circulatory system cell here in town. Sheriff Jones goes and lights up a cigarette, even though he's never going to take a drag off of it. He just lights it, waits for the safety paper to snuff it out, lights it again. He almost seems to be doing it more for the smell than anything. But he's looking across all three of you. So, yeah, Ms. Giovanni's shaking my cage. There's some La Sombra from out in Chicago who was supposed to check in at her establishment, and he hasn't done that yet. As far as I know, he's in town, but she's freaking out, and I have no idea why, and I need you to go check on that. So if you could just get her out of my hair for one goddamn night, it'd be appreciated.
I think we could do that. Where was the check-in? Where's the location?
It's at her establishment, the Red Room.
Red Room.
Local point of interest here. The Red Room is a very, very selective Kindred-only club in Sioux City. And this is the, we'll say, the prettier face of the circulatory system. Everyone knows that there's a far seedier underbelly, but Elisabetta tries to put on as many airs as she can, whether or not it's to make her feel better about what she's doing or just as a smokescreen. But the three of you, for whatever reason, the three of you have never individually managed to get an invite. You basically have to be given a card directly from Elisabetta Giovanni or one of her people in order to gain admittance, and the admission is enforced by a very, very large mountain of meat by the name of Peter. But yeah, with Elisabetta here, just I don't like going to the place. It creeps me out. I mean, the basement alone, no, you'd never get me down there. But the prince likes having Elisabetta where she is, and it's nicer that we at least have a focal point to keep an eye on her so we know where to start. So convenience, unfortunately, wins out in the end. But if you'll excuse me, I've got to go. You hold on the fort, check in with me if you need to, and we'll go from there. I'll let you know if I need any help at the airport, but I think this should be fairly standard as long as the lick gets here tonight. We should be good. And with that, he gets up and walks out of the office, leaving the three of you to your own devices.
Well, this
Well,
is fun.
Yeah, I guess we get to go to a club that we never get invited to. This is going to be interesting.
I was thinking about trying to go next week when we weren't doing anything. So maybe I can get in and find the right people and see what happens.
The right people, but we're never the right people. We're never the right people to go in there. You know that.
You can always try, though.
We could try. I could make a couple calls.
See? Optimism. We got this.
They don't like us, and it's fine. It's fine. I mean, we deal with it.
Yes, Liza in particular is she's kind of an odd one out when it comes to the local Toreador. There's a lot of sycophants, even for the Toreador here in town, and Liza kind of marches to the beat of her own drum. But the three of you can actually, who's driving? Who's going to be the driver tonight?
I think it'd be a good idea if Chet were to drive.
Okay. So what's Chet's whip look like?
Chet drives a, I want to say like a white panel van, but it's like a grayish blue kind of color. Dinged up, doesn't look too fresh. Doesn't look. It's crafted to look like it'll blend in. It's got that authentic look to it, like it's supposed to be there, but nothing else about it really stands out. Especially not the armored panels on it.
And the level 2 ballistic rating bulletproof glass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the
you-
restraints hidden inside.
Okay. Eliza, you have shotgun.
Sure. Why not? I don't have a shotgun, but I will drive shotgun. Ooh.
So you get in the van and you are driving your way over to the Red Room. The club itself is kind of positioned in one of the more older industrial sections of town. This actually used to be the stockyards area, which was the biggest stockyard in the region outside of Chicago. But of course, things change, industries modernize, and now very little remains of the old stockyard facility. There is, however, one of the original transfer buildings has been once again purchased by mysterious people, upgraded, renovated, and this is where the Red Room is. There's no sign advertising its existence. The building is actually on the historical registry, so it has not been given any kind of modernizing facelifts. However, the interior, they were able to make some concessions, and the van pulls up into the parking lot. It doesn't seem like it's too busy of a night to start. It's about 10 o'clock at night. You see, one or two town cars that you would recognize from a local chauffeur service that caters to VIPs flying directly into Sioux City, and if they happen to directly stop here at the Red Room right after landing, then more power to them. But you get out of the van and approach the building where you see the previously aforementioned Peter manning the front door. Peter he looks like he probably weighs about 310 pounds. He's all of 5'8". This guy, however, he's built like a whiskey barrel, and it is all muscle. Peter's actually got a little bit of a rep that you all might have heard of at one point in time. But Peter, standing outside, totally immobile. Doesn't even acknowledge you as you approach.
Chet, you go first.
All right.
See what kind of mood Peter's in.
Hello. May we come in?
You're met with silence, and he just stares at you.
We're looking to see Elisabetta.
You got a card?
He turns. Either of you have a card?
I got a card.
And he looks at you, almost like not willing to believe it, and he actually takes it, and he's looking at it. He actually sniffs the paper, has a UV light, and he's shining it on it. And he hands you the card back, Danny. You can come in.
I thought this was
Justin.
for everybody.
One card per person. Those are the rules.
What's the matter? I'm wearing a collared shirt. Am I not fitting your wardrobe? Not your wardrobe, your dress code here?
It doesn't matter what you look like. The rules are the rules.
Look, the sheriff wants us to go in there and talk to your boss. So it might be nice if you let us in, because I don't think the sheriff would be very pleased if you didn't.
He furrows his brow. Just a moment.
Pull out my cell phone. Get the number ready.
Hold on. And he actually takes out his own cell phone, and he's texting, and he doesn't have the fine motor skills or the fine motor dexterity to do more than this guy could probably crush your skull with his bare hand if he really wanted to.
I lean into Chet. This is what the sausage fingers do.
He looks up at you.
It's a good thing. You could beat me up really bad. I know you could. It's fine.
And he stares at his phone for just a little bit longer. Okay. Ms. Giovanni said all three of you can come in. But next time, you need cards, all three of you.
I'll let the sheriff know.
Yeah, we'll make sure to do that.
Someone want to go ahead and roll an intelligence and occult for me, please? Whoever might have the highest out of that.
My hands are getting folded.
Okay. Interesting. So the three of you enter the club. So the outside is old, faded. The brick exterior may at one point in time had been, a dark red, but now it's a faded pink. Old ads are still painted on the side. But when you walk through the door, it's like you've stepped into another world. Dark lighting, plush red carpet, black wallpaper. There's the room itself that you walk into is relatively open. You can see there's plenty of booths tucked into dark corners. There is something resembling a stage that you might find in a exotic dancing establishment, surrounded by a like a large plush circular sofa. The bar seems to not have too much liquor stocked back behind it, but then you know the reason why. There is a bartender back behind. He looks up at the three of you as you enter and doesn't seem to pay you any notice. Earlier when I said it's a slow night, that is indeed the case. It appears to be just the bartender and a rather well put together, middle-aged appearing woman. She is wearing a knee-length skirt with a sharp black blazer and a red tank top underneath. Her appearance seems to give you the impression that maybe if she were still alive, she'd be the kind to unnecessarily yell at a Starbucks barista. But she sees the three of you enter, and where once a dour expression was kind of plaguing her face, her eyebrows perk up, and she gets up from the stool where she was having a small conversation with the bartender, clasps her hands and approaches. "Oh, darlings! Oh, did Sheriff Israel send you? Hello."
Yep, he sent us. So you've got a missing person.
Yes. Yes. Oh, right to the chase. You all are. I'll have to recommend. Recommend your services to some of my associates. Yes, indeed. Missing people. If you would please follow me to my office. And without even acknowledging the fact that you may or may not have agreed to follow her, she heads towards the back through a hallway. I'm assuming you join her.
I'd like to turn on Sense the Unseen before I do.
Okay.
Just to...
I'm not going to require any rolls. There's... The security in this place implies that if there's going to be any Nosferatu lurking about, they are going to be on Elizabeth's payroll, and you do not happen to see any of them. You do notice, though, that the spirit world here does have, we'll say, a lot more negative turbulence than you would find in an establishment like this if it were frequented by Kine. The air almost, now that you can see just the haze that lingers in this place, you almost feel like you're walking through it now that you can see it. It's very uncomfortable on a spiritual level. You don't physically feel it, but it's there, and it's giving you the heebie-jeebies.
Guys, it feels like I'm walking through the moors. Feels like really, really. I don't like this weather. Let's go.
Yeah, I thought I wanted to be here. I know I see what Sheriff's talking about. I don't want to be here. Let's go.
No.
Yeah, let's get this over with.
Yeah, the faster we talk to her, the faster we get back to.
So
I don't actually know what you guys do for fun.
Fun?
What's that? But the three of you, you go into her office. The room itself is done up rather extravagantly. The dark red tones from the lounge give way to actually it's kind of comfortable in here. It's very like warm creams and lighter wood tones. You have almost zen, but Yeah, the Liza, you'll notice in here though that it's even worse. This is a very, very bad place. But behind Elizabeta's desk, you can see that there's actually 4 or 5 decorative shelves, and they each have little knickknacks. Oh, that's an egg timer. That's okay. That's fuzzy dice from the rear view mirror of a car. They're just weird odds and ends that really don't make any coherent sense. But she looks over the 3 of you, and the you can tell that she was putting on a front before. Now that she has you in private, Elizabeta is strictly business. Okay, so obviously Sheriff Jones doesn't have the time for me, and he sent you 3. That's unfortunate, but I will take what I can get. So.
You can continue.
Yes.
It's awkward. I love it.
Anyways. The person that I have, I don't want to say misplaced, but the person that was supposed to arrive tonight did not arrive tonight. And not only am I personally out the personal resources that I was going to gain from his visit, this does unfortunately have political ramifications for you Camarilla types as well. And I figured I would be a good neighbor, abide by the terms of the promise, and see to it that the proper authorities were advised of a perceived problem. So, they are La Sombra from Chicago. They are... One second, I'm looking up their name. They are a man by the name of Marco Norteño. And he is a man of considerable means and prestation that if he were to have disappeared within the city limits, that could pose a problem for your lovely Prince Jimenez. And you Chicago peoples, if you wanted to maybe give me a, we'll say, intelligence and politics, let's see here, wits and insight, either one of those 2 will work.
Yeah, let's do this.
You're muted.
Sorry, 2 successes.
2?
Yeah.
2? All
You
right,
as well.
All right, so the both of you know that Marco Norteño is he is indeed very well connected, and there's rumors that he was maybe one of the initial first recruits to join the Camarilla, and there's suspicions about him and his allegiances, but nothing that you can confirm. But there's, of course, personal reasons that also figure into this. And not only am I saving you a perhaps uncomfortable visit from an Archon or 2, I'm willing to part with some major boons if you can find Senor Norteño and make sure that he's okay.
So, what did he want with this place then? I mean, he's from Chicago. Why would he even want to be here?
I'm a curator of particular vintages, and Senor Norteño happens to appreciate one of my finer vessels, and he makes a point to take holiday here when time permits. And Chet, it looked like you were wanting to say something.
Yeah, Chet's gonna ask for like a more detailed description of the guy,
Yeah.
height, weight, complexion, and then he's gonna go into really specific questions like blood type and demeanor. You know, like CS questions,
Okay.
because he's just slipping into the habit.
Well, okay, so Senor Norteño, of course, I don't have a picture to show you for obvious reasons, but he is, I'd say 6'2", 6'3". He's somewhat tall. Typical Spaniard features. Olive skin, dark hair. He has, an I always give him crap about it, but he's got an Errol Flynn mustache. As far as the more personal details, I unfortunately am not privy to that information, and if I was going to be privy to that information, some of that is a little personal that I don't think I should be giving that out. As far as his demeanor, however, I can promise you that Senor Norteño has very little patience for idiots. And is keen to make his displeasure known. So, as far as where where he was last seen, his flight arrived an hour or two before sunrise last night, and he got a private chauffeur from the airport to his hotel, and that was the last that he's been seen or heard from.
What hotel was he staying at?
One of the it's like I think it's one of the Holiday Inns. It's by the airport. There's for point of reference, in Sioux City there is something in the neighborhood of like 15 or 16 like hotels in Sioux City alone, and the population isn't even 100,000. So yeah, there's a very, very large very large selection of hotels to choose from in town. But so it was, yeah, the Holiday Inn by the airport. For the record, though, this is one of the nicer Holiday Inns.
Well, it's next to the airport.
It has to be.
Right. Senor Norteño likes to keep a low profile when he is in town, and that is why I went to Sheriff Jones with this instead of your lovely Prince. I do enjoy Prince Jimenez's company, but there are certain things that, and I think even the three of you would agree with, that he is not fit to handle or be made aware of.
It's understandable.
But other than that, I can't think of anything else useful to let you know about.
One last question from me. He does a man of his means. He wouldn't travel with like an assistant or anything.
That, unfortunately, is another part of the problem. The assistant was left behind in Chicago because he wanted to sneak away. Senor Norteño and I do go back prior to him joining the Camarilla. And we kept in touch. And he knew of some of my particular hobbies and made a point to stay professionally attached. But his assistant is back in Chicago, and I expect that she should be arriving here, probably by tomorrow if he hasn't checked in.
Did he have any aliases that he went by? Anything that if we were looking into a hotel that we'd be able to, snuff him out?
Unfortunately, other than John Smith, I would probably guess, and I honestly wouldn't know. Maybe, oh, yes, she looks kind of sheepish to be admitting this. It would be Luigi Mario.
Not Mario Mario?
Mm-hmm.
Luigi Mario.
It's an old joke.
I saw the movie. Do we have a phone number for the assistant?
Unfortunately, no, and I don't think it would be a good idea to be calling her and letting her know that her boss is MIA.
Makes sense.
Let's see here. Why don't you all give me a intelligence and insight roll, please?
I have a specialty in detect lies. Does that apply or no?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Boy got 3.
All right, 3 for Steve, 1 for Joe, 3 for Ben. Okay, so Liza unfortunately doesn't pick up on this, or doesn't pick up on it as quickly as maybe Danny or Chet, but it might not be a bad idea to maybe try talking to the individual that he was here to see. Whichever one of you wants to jump on that particular grenade.
So who was he? Who was he fully here to see? Was it just you? Was there a reason?
Well,
Can you give it to us?
He, as I said, he does have a particular liking for one of my vessels. Her name is Sade. If you wish, I can actually introduce you, I guess, if that's the term I'm looking for. And she actually hits the intercom on her desk, and you hear a very soft voice in the background say, "Hello? Yes, Michael. Could you send Sade up, please? There are some individuals that wish to speak to her." And there's no response, but just a moment or two later, and my autofocus is all jacked up. There we go. A moment or two later, a lovely young woman enters the room. She is dressed very professionally. Pencil skirt, black blazer, black top. Her outfit looks like it probably, would set you back, a good couple of $1,000 easy. But her hair is, she's actually got a dark ruby, dark green kind of ombre effect going on. And you can see that she's, if you look, there does seem to be some faint scarring on both sides of her neck. Nothing too prominent. Easily concealable by makeup. But she enters the room. She sees the three of you standing there and immediately tenses up, locks up. And Elisabetta looks at her. "Oh, it's okay, dear. The three the three individuals here are wanting to ask you some questions about your client that was booked for tonight. And she turns and looks at the three of you. The fear has not left her face, but maybe she's loosened up a little more physically. But she looks like she wants to be anywhere else but here right now in front of these three strange kindred that she doesn't know. Yes, I want to help whatever I can do to help.
Absolutely. Sade, correct?
Technically, yes.
We'll go with that. Mr. Danny Smits. Nice to meet you. I am as uncomfortable as you are. So we'll make this as easy as we can.
And she actually seems to be loosening up quite a bit at that. Okay.
I was wondering if you had any locations that you plan to go to with your client tonight.
Elizabetta actually interrupts. My vessels are not allowed to leave the premises with a client. That is a strict rule. And Sade actually nods.
Absolutely. Okay. That makes this a little bit easier. Thank you.
Well,
Sade,
yes.
I'm Liza.
Hello.
Did you know if your client was supposed to be taking in the sights or anything like that? Do you know if he had any plans before he was supposed to come here?
Not that I know of. She actually looks at Elizabetta, who remains completely stony-faced. We've been kind of talking a little bit, and he was supposed to come right here after sundown. I've actually been waiting here since 5 for him. He's very particular, and I needed to make sure that everything was going to be as he liked it.
How do you typically communicate with this client?
Elizabetta interrupts again. He is supposed to be contacting me, and then I make the arrangements. They're not supposed to be talking at all, are they, Sade? And she blanches and turns white as a sheet. Right. But no, he was supposed to come here right after sundown.
Oh, this is just more awkward. Is there anything else? Sade, since I have you right here. Nope.
And I turn to our hostess. I know this sounds really weird, but is there any chance that we could talk to Sade for a couple of minutes on our own? Because you know how it is. Your employer's right here. Maybe you might not be so forthcoming. I know that, all your vassals probably, are devoted to you, but maybe she might tell us something if you're not here.
Why don't you give me a charisma plus persuasion check? It might not be a bad idea to maybe to use that thing that I said that you can do one time during the session.
Because I'm pretty sure the Primogen, he and I are pretty close.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he would be pretty appreciative of you helping us out here.
What clan are you?
Toreador.
And now you get your 2 dice because now she knows who you're talking about. So, go ahead and roll. And
Okay, so-
everyone's. I'm going to be nice. Everyone's at 0 hunger. I'm going to be cool.
All right.
I'm going to be
That
cool.
that's cool.
You're that guy.
All right, so I'm actually in that case I'm going to rouse my charisma.
Okay.
Give myself a little better chance, and I pass my rouse check.
Okay.
So
You've got a pretty good chance on winning this one.
I hope so.
I'm just saying.
Five successes.
Yeah, you stomped her 1. I certainly wouldn't want to upset Primage and Tran. Of course. You can actually step into. There's a side room that you and Sade can speak in, and please bring her back when she's done.
Oh, of course. We wouldn't dream about, damaging the merchandise. It basically just kind of comes out really staggered. The merchandise, yeah, we wouldn't want to damage that. So, yeah, we'll bring her back in one piece.
Excellent. And the 3 of you take Sade into the side room. This is reminiscent of another type of room that you might find in another type of establishment like this. There is a half door that can be seen over. However, and the room itself is somewhat acoustically treated. It's not entirely private, but it's going to serve the purpose that you need it to do. But now that she's been separated from Elizabetta, she has calmed significantly. And she... Oh, thank God. I cannot stand that bitch. Thank you. All right, look.
So, was he going to take you away?
Yes.
That's what I figured.
But there's more to it. Look, Elizabetta just I'm 85 years old, and the woman looks to be barely in her mid-20s. I'm 85 years old, and I've been doing this for a very, very long time. This is one of the better establishments that I've worked in. So I do have to give Ms. Giovanni some credit, but the woman is a fucking bitch. But there's stuff going on that I think she's connected with, and I can't really say 100% if I can prove it or not, but I don't think that Marco disappearing is a coincidence.
So, what do you all feel about this? Because I'm feeling a little bit like this is a shady deal.
This is absolutely a shady deal.
Everything we do is shady.
Everything we find ourselves in is shady.
I mean, look at this rumor.
Huh. Yeah, I mean,
what do you think happened? What do you think happened, since you've obviously had some connection, sorry about that, back there with him? What do you think happened?
Honestly, I think this might have been another crew getting back at her for something. She's got her fingers in a lot of stuff, and it's not just people. There's drugs, there's money laundering, there's she has people that will do contract hits for her. She's connected. And
So you don't think the disappearance is because of your plan, but of somebody trying to get to Elizabetta?
that would be my guess. If I were to put money on it, that's where I'd bet.
All right. So when you communicated with Marco, how did you communicate with him?
We texted. We used Discord. I've got a VPN, and he's got a VPN. I know that you all are not supposed to be like talking online, but that was the easiest way for us to talk. But yeah, as far as I mean, I got everything set up like how he told me to, and as far as I know, we were the only two who knew that he was going to be in town, other than Elizabetta.
No, I'm just worried that somebody who had access to your phone.
It's me, my boyfriend, Elizabetta.
Who's your boyfriend?
He's he's gone missing too.
Right. All right. So so friends, are you thinking what I'm thinking? That's a yes.
A little
Just
bit.
just a little bit there.
But how about you say it first?
How about I don't say it and we just say I did, because you guys know what I'm thinking and we don't want necessarily to have ears on us that are right.
Absolutely. You know, we got to keep this as masquerade friendly as possible and try to make everybody on the other side here as, you know, as respected as possible in these situations. That being said, I pull out my phone. I'm like, what was this Discord name?
Blah.
Blah. I added on. I send one to her. Put us in a group chat. Try talking to him again, please.
She takes out her phone. You see her typing. She tries getting a hold of him, and there appears to be no response.
I'm gonna keep the notifications on just in case he does say something. We can pop into it. What's your boyfriend's address?
What's his name?
My boyfriend's name is Kevin. It's Kevin Peters.
Okay, and the address is blah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a few options of where we need to go.
How long has Kevin been missing?
Since yesterday. I haven't called the cops yet. Ms. Giovanni told me not to.
Hey, of course you did. Of course. Because, right, yeah.
Okay. Well, folks, do we want to get a move on? Is there anything else we need to ask Sade right now?
I don't think so. I think Sade's been through enough.
And we have a way of communicating with her now, so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Danny, you've got to teach me that Discord thing, because I don't know. My phone is just like that texting thing. That's fine, but Discord, what's that?
A VPN?
It's a
Yeah,
weird
I know,
thing.
right?
It's things we should never talk about. As he
Yeah,
puts
you gotta
his
teach me
phone-
that shit.
And Sade is actually kind of amused at this little exchange. She's like, I don't understand why you all have to be like no electronics. It's
Oh no,
stupid."
honey, I'm 150 years old. I don't have time for this shit.
Mm-hmm. But
I'm just not good with computers.
oh, me either. But yeah, so
I'm hip.
so I mean, if you could, I haven't been able to really look for Kevin. But if you all could find something out, I'd really appreciate it. I mean Kevin's great and all, but he's not Marco.
I'm assuming because Kevin is one of you.
Kevin's normal. I'm
How old is Kevin?
oh, Kevin's 25, 26.
Oh, you go, girl.
That age difference, though, I like that.
Well, a girl's got to stay young somehow, and I know how to get what I want. So,
And all the power to you.
but yeah, like if you can just let me know that Kevin's okay, I'd appreciate it. And if
Yeah,
there's-
Danny will do that. Danny will do that Discord thing, and he'll let you know. And yeah, it'll be good. Don't worry, girl. We'll take care of it.
All right, excellent. Well, I'm actually gonna. I'm not going to be working tonight, but I'm not supposed to leave the building just because it's a security risk. So, I'm not going anywhere. So if you let me, if you let me know something, I'm gonna be right here until sunrise.
Well, I'll let you know what's going on, but in the meantime, just relax, buy yourself a Nintendo Switch, do something in the meantime, and just try not to think of it.
That's easy.
As I awkwardly start walking towards the door.
It's easy for you to say, and she lets you all depart. Are you going to be stopping by and wishing Ms. Giovanni a good evening, or are you just going to leave?
We should probably get a way to contact her.
Yeah,
because
I'm.
yeah.
Okay, so one of you can just bop over, exchange numbers. We'll unless anyone wanted to talk to Ms. Giovanni further.
I will go and I will get her information. I'll just lean in and go. Just one question: if there was any enemy of yours that would need Marco's talents, would you have a name?
I couldn't even begin.
Always worth a shot. You have a great evening.
And so the three of you head back out to Chet's panel van, which is not a panel van. And yeah.
I don't want to go to this place ever again.
Buy
Yeah.
herself a Nintendo Switch?
That's what they do.
How are they
right
gonna get
now,
inside the
right?
building?
Worth a shot.
There's that Amazon thing. Can she get one with that?
Yeah, she can get with Prime. She's got a cell phone. She can get other things in there. There's got to be ways. They get them in prison, right? I don't know.
All right. So our hostess Giovanni, she got somebody to off Marco, kidnap Marco because her precious little vessel would have been gone, and that's her moneymaker. Does that sound right to you guys?
I think
That
that's
right?
about. I think we're on the right track with that one. I don't think. I think everything was staged on the situation. I think our first spot needs to be to the Holiday Inn. to to figure this out. If we can't figure out anything here, maybe we'll check out Kevin's area, see if they were a little messier. Because I feel like Marco might be found. I think Kevin is dead.
Eh. I mean, it's possible he's alive. It's possible that Giovanni's using this Kevin thing to hold over her employee's head. I mean, they are sneaky ones, aren't they? Those Giovanni's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never trusted him, especially everything that had to go down in Chicago. The businesses.
Bloody Giovanni.
So the three of you are making your way to the Holiday Inn. It's actually conveniently in the same neighborhood as Sheriff Jones's office. So you know exactly the place you're going. You go through the front desk area. This time of night, there's someone absent-mindedly watching TV in the back office, back behind the check-in desk, but it's relatively quiet. You do have the room number for Marco. I'll be nice and say you got that. So
Okay.
just for convenience sake.
Then in that case, I'm just gonna go straight to the door and not even mess with the hotel guy.
Okay. All right.
Folks, I will return, and I'm going to use mist form, and I'm going to float underneath the door.
Okay. Do we need to rouse? I believe we need to rouse.
I don't believe. Let me check and
Form.
make
I
sure.
believe you do.
1 to 3 rouse checks. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, it depends on how quickly you want to do it. Yes, I remember.
We're not that quick to do it, so we'll just do 1 rouse check.
Okay.
I am hungrier.
Okay, so you are now at Hunger 1. I am not going to personify beasts just because this is a one-shot. So,
I feel you.
yeah, you get hungrier. You do, however, it always feels a little weird when it first starts, no matter how often you do it. But you're looking through your hand, you can see it slowly start to become translucent, and then smoky, and then Liza and Chet, you're basically standing here outside the room, just kind of like as Danny does his thing, but he wafts underneath the door. Now, Danny, are you going to rematerialize when you get on the other side, or how are we going to do this?
Question: while in mist form, would I be able to see if there's anybody inside this room while in mist form?
Yes, you do have kind of like an omniscient sense.
Okay.
You do not see anybody in the room, and it is very, very dark. But you don't sense anyone here.
Gotcha. I will rematerialize. I will, because it is dark, pop
Eyes of the Beast.
Eyes of the Beast.
Okay.
That's another rouse, or
Nope.
that's not that one's not a
Nope,
rouse.
that one's free. Yep.
And I will open the door
Okay.
for them to come in.
All right. So, Chet and Liza, the two of you are standing outside the hotel door, and then you hear the knob, or you hear the deadbolt go clack, and the door opens. Danny, you pull the door open, and did you turn the lights on yet?
No, but
right,
my eyes are still glowing red.
Yeah. So yeah, it's poof, red eyes right in your face as soon as the door's open.
Well,
After
that's a good thing, I guess. Those things are useful.
It's one of my fun parlor tricks. And I turned the lights on.
All right, so you turn the lights on, and the room is immediately bathed in crimson. The light fixture that used to be attached to the wall is ripped out of the wall itself. They're like those. They're those like industrial stylized like arms that you can kind of like move all over the place. It's very Art Deco, very modern, etc. But that's been ripped out of the wall, and it's actually the red hue in the room is coming from the Vitae that's been sprayed rather liberously around the room itself.
Nobody touch anything. I guess it doesn't matter. We can touch things.
Well, the room, the bed has been like the mattress has been tossed. The drawers have been pulled open and ransacked. You see a simple black like carry-on style suitcase kind of tossed in the corner, kind of scattered about. Some clothes. Strangely enough, though, the thing that really gets your attention is the mirror that sits above the centerpiece dresser that kind of serves as the entertainment center for the room. The mirror itself has been smeared and written on in Vitae or blood. It's kind of hard to tell which. But there are mystical symbols written on the mirror, and there is a phrase written in Latin. Does anyone speak Latin? Does anyone have an intelligence and academics pool to even guess what the Latin might say? Okay.
I will take a shot.
Okay.
Come on, 3 dice. Four.
Okay, so all right, so
10 and 10 and 10. Let's give me everything. I know Latin.
okay.
I'm doing the Matrix thing. I'm plugging in. Let's do it.
That's just a standard. That's just a standard crit. That's not a messy crit.
Oh, shit, I do have a hunger one. That's a messy crit.
Ah, it is a messy crit.
Well, I was happy while it lasted.
Listen, how bad can it be? This room's already destroyed.
I mean, he could start speaking in tongues or something. That could be cool.
So it's just one of those weird hindbrain sort of things. Like you're looking at it, and it must have just been from that, all the horror movies that you might have watched back in the 90s. And Satanism and exorcisms were a big horror genre for a while. And so, yeah, you picked up on some Hollywood Latin, and one thing led to another. And the next thing you know, you see the phrase itself says blood and ash, fire and sky, power and ecstasy. So it's lots of nouns, et for and. And you share your findings with the class.
Blood and ash, fire and sky, power and ecstasy.
Storyteller,
Yes.
out of character, is there any like capitalization of like the nouns?
It appears to be written in all caps.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, when you are writing in blood, punctuation and grammar kind of take a back seat.
We'll take your word for it. We don't have a cult.
That works.
Oh
No, I have blood sorcery.
Oh yeah, it might not be a bad idea there, Chet. You might be wanting to break some of that out here momentarily.
Blood and ash, fire and sky, power and ecstasy. What the fuck does this mean?
And yes, the with the occult symbols there, there's something definitely going on here.
Take my phone out.
There's a masquerade breach waiting to happen.
There's one. Keep it on my phone. Who? Does anybody have any clue what this could be?
Listen, I flunked out of junior college. Okay, no.
Yeah, no, this doesn't look like anything to me.
Boy,
Does anybody see any dust on the ground?
Do we, storyteller?
Nope.
Heightened sentence or anything like that? Would that help?
Those of you wanting to do a closer inspection of the room, you can definitely do a the wits and awareness drink.
Drink.
The...
I set my character up specifically for wits and awareness. I'm just throwing that out right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get all my dice ready.
So yeah, wits and awareness. Let me see here. Active. If you have heightened senses active, go ahead and you can add your aspects to your roll.
Okay.
I want to check out the suitcase he brought with him.
Okay. All right. Okay.
3.
All right. So I'm
4.
gonna, all right. 2, 3. Okay. So I'm gonna go around the horn, as it appears on screen here. So, Danny, how many did you get again? 3. All right. So, Danny, as you are examining the room, you happen to find a stake that looks like it's gotten kicked under the bed. All right. Chet, what you got? You got 2 on the suitcase. All right. Inside the suitcase, there is a black book. Upon perusal, its names, addresses, and dollar amounts. And there's also a stylized silver dagger tucked away in the suitcase. And Liza, how many did you get?
That was 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so 4 successes. Liza, as you are looking about, you also have Sense the Unseen as passive, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Liza, you actually see a ghost, a wraith, just chilling there by the suitcase.
I go over and I start talking to it. Hey there.
And the 2 of you see her just talking to this blank void space.
Hey
And
there.
the spirit actually, like... Wait,
Yeah, I can see you. You want to tell me what's up? What happened here? Actually, storyteller, does the spirit look like the description that we got of either of the 2 people we're looking for?
No.
Okay.
No. The spirit is we'll say vaguely female. Their presence here is very, very faint. You get a general impression of blonde female, and that's basically it.
Hey, so you want to tell me what happened here? Like, there's a lot of blood around here. Yeah, there is. You know it's okay, right? You can tell me. It's not like they can hurt you anymore. Oh, come on. You know you can tell me. Oh, you can't tell me. You crossed your heart and hoped to die or something like that? You told them you wouldn't say anything? They ripped out your vocal cords. All right. Do you want to kind of mime to me what happened? One.
You actually see the spirit like fade out momentarily.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And yeah, the two of you, Chet and Danny, you got to see this whole exchange go down here.
What did the suitcase tell you?
Oh yeah, no. You know how hotels are like haunted and shit like that a lot of the times because people do like crimes and shit here.
Oh,
Well, yeah, there's like a ghost here that's like, may have seen something. So I figured might as well check. Like, why not? But then it disappeared.
Where is it?
Oh, it was right over there. It was right over there, like sitting next to the suitcase kind of thing. No, you wouldn't like. I mean, you can see it, but it's not like you can touch it or anything like that. Yeah.
very.
yeah. Yeah, but
waiting for
they
it.
can be useful. They can be helpful. Like they can help you with with like if you're looking for like a crime scene or something like that. Because sometimes like if it's a really recent one, sometimes they'll even show up like that because they haven't like moved on and stuff like that. So sometimes you can even ask the victims. It's kind of really creepy, but yeah.
There is the three of you as you're standing around and talking. You actually see that stake that Danny found. Danny, are you holding it, or did you just like what did you?
I'm
do
holding
with
it.
Okay,
I picked it up and I'm just kind of holding on to it.
okay. Danny, you start to feel the stake like actually moving in your hand, like it's. And it's really trying to like pull itself free.
Gonna cover myself, set it on a table, and
Okay. All right. So, Liza, you probably have an idea what might be going on here, but as soon as Danny puts the stake down, it almost shoots up into the air and then shoots over to the nearest wall, slams into it, and actually like punctures through whatever counts as drywall, and then it wiggles, and the next thing you know, the stake is scraping a message into the sheetrock. And Liza, if you were to try to use Sense the Unseen, you wouldn't be able to see the ghost because it is requiring all of its oomph to... Yeah, you know how wraiths work. So
Makes sense. Okay.
yeah.
So, they're trying to give us a message. All right, cool. Guys, quiet. Let's see what it says.
As it's laboriously scratched out, the message reads, ambush, kidnap, ashes. And then the stake,
Right.
then the stake falls to the floor.
So, I'm just gonna say to somewhere because I don't know where the wraith is. I'm gonna say, thank you, really appreciate it, really do. If there's anything that we can do for you, let us know. I don't know how, but
And there's
figure it a way. Let us know. We'll be here for a couple more minutes.
turn the TV on.
Okay.
Maybe you could use entertainment.
So, Liza, you of course get no response. Danny, the TV would operate if it hadn't been smashed in. Yes, the room does look like it has been tossed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything screwed up. Heard.
Mm-hmm.
Storyteller.
Yes, sir.
May I make a medicine roll to try to estimate how much blood has been spilled in this room?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like if it's one person's worth or a couple or...
Yeah, go ahead and do an intelligence of medicine.
Can I use that blood search?
Mm-hmm.
Hunger
Okay.
goes up.
Hunger 1 for Chet there.
Four successes.
Okay, so going off of the amount of vitae and blood that's present here, some of this looks like it was from whatever happened here, and some of this looks like it was actually stylistic, like it was maybe staged a little bit. With your the amount of successes that you got, and then your knowledge of blood sorcery, this definitely had a purpose, and there is some of the blood present here might have been from one individual. Some other blood, which actually seems to, the more you're studying it, it actually seems to be drying out faster. It's a darker shade of brown than the more fresh red. That, it stands to reason, is older blood. That probably did not come from the individual in the room.
We'll relay that to the group.
Okay.
With a surprising academic knowledge from Chet.
I almost applaud.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Right.
so we're in a staged room where an ambush took place.
Somebody
Kidnap-
turned to ash.
Somebody's ash.
Did we find ashes?
No.
No.
There are no
Okay.
ashes present in this room.
But
Yeah,
it doesn't give us any more lead.
well, either Marco was kidnapped and somebody else was staked, or Marco was staked and somebody else was kidnapped. You know, one of those happened.
Maybe Marco killed one of them before they staked him.
Yeah, that's possible too. I don't know. Where did we go next? Because
We have Sade's boyfriend's house. He's missing.
There is that lead as well.
I'm gonna grab the stake and be like, I don't know who you are or how this works, but if you want to ride with us and make yourself inside this stake, we'll take you if it'll help you on your journey. Maybe it'll give you free passage to the other world if you help us.
And for all you know, you're talking to an empty room. There's no way of, confirming whether or not the wraith is even still there, or if they are in any shape to respond. And Liza, you will be unable to see the ghost/wraith anymore in this room. So
yeah, I don't know. I can't see her, but hopefully she moves on. Maybe this is like the good deed that she needs to move on to the next world or something. Who knows?
I barely understand how we work, and I'm 80 years old.
Listen, all my knowledge of ghosts comes from the movie Casper.
and Patrick
I
Swayze.
am not 80 years old.
No, and in fact, the two of you would happen to know a little bit of Chet's backstory. Chet's a local boy, aren't you, Chet?
Born and raised.
I've heard your story.
So yeah, Chet. We'll
Chet's a go-getter.
yeah. I'm gonna have a use for Chet here in just a moment. We could go ahead and actually, if the coterie wanted to advance forward to Kevin's, since that seemed like, unless there are any other options, I'm definitely open. This is your guys' route. However you want to proceed with this.
I want to offer Danny a chance to go over that little black book I found. You might be able to glean something from the data in there.
See if
Or
there's anything on here that I can.
do we think we're persuasive enough to get the staff to show us, like, tell us when Marco showed up, and then maybe check out the cameras after that to see if anyone else came, or if they probably came, they probably had.
We
around.
should ask about to see if they saw him come in and out, but make sure they don't go to the room right
we have
now.
to take care of the room.
There's no taking care of the room. This is going to be one of those things that if we talk to them, we will probably be
Doesn't the
suspects.
sheriff have like a fixer or somebody that we can call? Because I mean, I know we're kind of the fixers, but
You guys are standing right there.
like, can we get them to like do
Grab
some
my
cleanup
Windex.
or some crap? Like,
Hmm.
what was it? I think somebody made me sit down and watch, like, what was it, Pulp Fiction or something? I think.
There's got to
Pulp
be
Fiction?
there's got to be a cleaner.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't want to resort to the old player character standard of light the hotel on fire.
You know, I actually, we could probably, I'll say if you wanted to, you know, just, we'll say, give Sheriff Jones an update, you know, via text, and you let him know about the room will be handled. So we don't, yeah. So you can, while Danny's still rolling around with that masquerade breach on his phone, the bigger issue of the hotel room will be addressed, so that will not be a problem. I'll be a kind, benevolent storyteller. So Danny, if you're looking through the book, let's go ahead and you know what, you are actually give me a resolve in finance.
Ooh,
Yeah. Not an intelligence or wits. Give me a resolve.
that is a 1.
That is a 1. These numbers are making your head hurt. And you are going to have to take some time sitting down, actually studying this. You are going to have to get a piece of scratch paper to actually keep tabs on what all is happening in this book. But it appears, as I stated before, that there are names and dollar amounts. Those names may or may not be kindred. You recognize a few kindred here in Sioux City, but that is, you have no other operable idea what's going on with this book.
There's a couple of people I know in here, but I am no use to this right now. I have no clue what these dollar amounts mean. I can't give you clue 1. But I do know a few people in there, so there's at least some kindred in this book.
Are any of them important or well off?
They're pretty average. I'm assuming pretty average people. I know of them, but I don't know of any status that they have. But I mean, he's working with the circulatory system with this situation as well. Who can say what these things are right now? What this book is? This might be something that Elizabetta would want if we decided to hand it over, but I don't think we will just yet, until we figure out how much it's worth.
Always, always looking for opportunity.
Never know. I work where the money is.
And actually, let's go ahead and we'll take our intermission here. We're hitting the hour and a half mark, and this is going pretty damn swimmingly so far as I'm concerned. So let's all take take 5. Those of you watching, you can step away momentarily, hydrate, bio break, do whatever you need to do. We will be back right quick. 5 minutes. My Shangri-La's, I can't forget why you were mine. I'm in your mind. Cry, little sister. Thou shalt not fall. Come to your brother. Thou shalt not die. Unchain me, sister. Thou shalt not fear. Love is with your brother. Thou shalt not kill. Cry, little sister. Thou shalt not fall. Come to your brother. Thou shalt not die. Unchain me, sister. Thou shalt not fear. Love is with your brother. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not fall. Thou shalt not die. Thou shalt not fear. Thou shalt not kill. Hi, and welcome back, everybody. We're going to sit back down here for our Twisting Ashes one-shot. So, to recap, our lovely little coterie, the Harriers here, were sent on a errand from their boss, the sheriff, to deal with the local CS bigwig. And there is a very important La Sombra from Chicago missing within Sioux City, and the coterie needs to find him. So, we're picking back up in the van in the parking lot of the Holiday Inn by the airport. We have the little black book, we have the stake, we have a picture of the weird things that were scrawled on the mirror. Liza's met a ghost, tried to make friends with the ghost, and now we are possibly en route to go look into Kevin, who was the kind boyfriend of Sade, the unbound ghoul who works at the Red Room. But as we're driving along, Chet, you do, depending on where your cell phone is, as you are driving to Kevin's, you are getting quite a few notifications. And I'm going to leave it up to you on whether or not you're going to check your phone while you're driving or not.
He's got one of those little mount things.
Oh.
Because he occasionally uses it for directions when he is sent somewhere.
Okay.
Who's sitting in the front?
I think Liza was sitting shotgun, but she probably would have handed it over to Danny to let Danny take his turn.
Gotcha. So I'll be up front. I'll
Yeah, can you
see
check
who
that
is.
for me?
Yeah, I'll see who's texting you. Open up the phone, have him put his code in, of course.
The text notification that Danny sees is from someone in Chet's caller ID listed as Boss Number 2.
Boss number 2 says,
Find anything yet?
Still looking.
still looking. Winky face or no winky face?
Uh,
I don't know how you.
How does boss number 2 respond to winky face?
Chet would know that Boss Number 2 does not respond well to emojis.
Yeah, use a winky face.
Use winky face. Winky face said,
There's a long pause before Chet gets any more texts. So
I see 3 dots. They disappear.
Yep.
3 dots are back. They disappear.
And then they stay gone. So the 3 of you are en route to Kevin's. Feel free to engage in some dialogue here in discourse while you are moving along.
So go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. So, who do you think off them?
I don't know if it's actually. I don't think it's actually Marco that's been offed.
Oh, somebody got offed.
Somebody definitely got offed in that room. I just don't know, especially if there's 2. Chet, you said that there was kind of like 2 older and a newer blood.
Yeah, blood was part of some blood ritual, so somebody that knows magic. That's not a very big list.
Wait, aren't the Tremere? Those ones. Maybe it's one of them. They do that crazy blood shit.
Yes.
Storyteller, how many Tremere would I be able to know in the city at a given time?
You are, of course, familiar with the Primogen. I don't know whether or not you actually would have much communication with Rachel, and we probably should leave that alone for the time being, just because. However, you really aren't too familiar with any other Tremere. The Primogen's going to be the safest bet, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I have to look that up. Just a moment.
Gotcha.
But I mean, by all means, if you wanted to try, reaching out to her, you definitely can.
Oh no, it's a fleeting thought
Okay.
of how many Tremere are actually here. Oh, I only know of the Primogen, but doesn't mean that there's.
Well, you would know of Rachel. You wouldn't, there's no relationship there, but you would know of Rachel just because of her position in the Heartbreakers.
Gotcha. So I've heard of. I'm not buddy.
Let's see here. There is Chet does finally get a response back from Boss Number 2.
Boss Number 2's replying.
Boss Number 2 texts. It's not that important if he is found alive.
Who found alive? Chet.
Yeah, that's probably just a wrong number.
I mean, I don't care if there's a dead or alive person anyway in this game that we're playing tonight. Trying to find this person if he's alive or if he's dead. I really have no claim into either side, but are we talking about Marco?
Probably talking about Marco. If not, I don't know who he's talking about.
Do you mind if me asking who Boss Number 2 is?
A little bit. I do mind a little bit.
Okay. I'll take that into consideration. Thank you.
If it's really important later, I will let you know.
Thank you.
But under the assumption that we don't tell other people.
I got you. I feel like I'm feeling your vibe. I totally understand the situation.
Let's just say he paid for this van,
Heard.
or they paid for this van.
She paid for this van.
They paid for this van, and a little bit extra to paint. You know. Oh wait, no, I said it was plain. I was gonna say the wizard on the side.
Oh, the stylized airbrush wizard on the side of the van.
I was really debating whether to have the cool wizard or not.
Hey, look, all cards on the table, though. Like, I mean, just so that we're all clear with each other, none of us are working for that Giovanni woman, are we? 'Cause I ain't. I only have the one boss.
I'm kind of in the same boat.
I was gonna start honking in the horn, and be like, "Oh, get out of the way!" Like, so he cut me
Oh.
off.
Hey, Chet. No,
Yeah?
seriously. Can't play two sides against each other like this. This isn't cool.
Hey, Chet, why don't you describe the back of the van to Liza?
So there's like restraints, secret. You can make out with your heightened senses if you use it, like some maybe smuggling panels. A lot of like a bottle that just says luminol on it, like a spray bottle, bunch of disinfecting wipes, baseball bat, some chloroform, syringes, blood bags. Yeah, usual stuff you have in a panel van like this. Honestly,
Chet.
yeah.
Chet. Stop the damn van.
You're on the interstate. You're going to need to take an exit and pull over.
Take the exit. Take the next exit.
I wanna
Get
get
off.
here.
Just stop the damn van off the next exit or whatever.
Okay.
And Chet does so. And there is actually the exit that I'm thinking of. There actually is an old abandoned gas station sitting right there by the side of the highway. That it's in the we'll say it's adjacent to the Stockyards neighborhood. This isn't the best place of town either. In fact, a lot of this section of town is not the best place of town. But you do manage to find a safe spot to pull over and stop.
You know, Chet, I thought you were just a nice blood plug for me, but how deep are you with her?
I mean, she trusts me with a van.
So what's the charade? Why the charade of having the sheriff, bring us down when she could have just told you?
Honestly, don't know. And then Peter doesn't let me in, makes a big show of not letting me in. I don't know what that's about. Thought we were tight, Peter.
There is some weird ass stuff going on here. So, yeah, how deep are you? Like, she trusts you, but now she's texting you to see if you found. Like, what the hell is even going on?
I'm as in the dark on this as you all are. I'll just make sure my notes are right on that.
Mm-hmm. You are correct in that assumption.
Yep. Yeah. Listen, I've been doing work for her for a while. And then things happened. I got a promotion and I kept working for her and I got this cool van.
Sold out for a van? Come on, Chet.
Just a van. And he starts going into the specifics of it, like the specs and
Hey,
the armor.
I've heard you the first 5 times you told me about the van.
Yes, for the record, Chet does have the 4 dots and circulatory system on his sheet there. So yes, he does have the CS armored van. Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I finally found an opportunity to take my favorite, like the perk that stood out the most.
And what a better place to use it. This is fun.
I did not know when I made this character that we were going to be dealing with the circulatory system.
As I was saying before, no,
cool car you got there.
You walked right into this shit, Ben, and I hope you know that.
I do now. I'm just glad I don't have a cult to tell them what's going on.
So here's what I think. I think Chet, she might want her van back. I feel like if this was a situation that had to be a circulatory system situation, she would have had you handle it. I feel like it's gotten out of hand, whichever way she was wanting to go with it, and the sheriff got involved. So she called us. This is a setup. This is a straight up setup. Let's move to Kevin's place. Maybe not park right in front of the place right now. And let's be on guard from here on out.
Sounds good. As I said, if I'm the fall guy, I'm the last to know.
We're all the fall guys, if anything. I mean, this all goes to cops. Who are they gonna blame? They're gonna blame the lowly frickin' coterie that got and found this shit. Like, that's how it works.
I text sheriff. Think we're set up. Love you.
He actually texts back just briefly after. Airport's fine, thanks for asking. And then you know ... He's typing, and you eventually get I don't trust that bitch, but I have to trust that bitch. And that's all he texts back.
I send word of about his personal cleaning lady. I tell him we're visiting a boyfriend, and I kind of give him that, not the address, but a location.
Mm-hmm.
And a hope to see you soon. After this, drinks, Winky Face.
He'll reply back with a thumbs up emoji, and we'll leave it at that.
Gotcha.
So from here on out, I'm going to be operating under the assumption that we will be using heightened senses when appropriate. If we're going on a aggressive footing, I will definitely take that into consideration with your disciplines, abilities, etc. So, you arrive at Kevin's place. This neighborhood, it's had a bad reputation for a long time, and it hasn't gotten any better. Kevin's place is, as you're, getting more familiar with the neighborhood, you realize, oh wait, he's probably got this one little tiny shoebox apartment that's crammed into this old house where they've squeezed like 8 apartments in it. So yeah, discretion is definitely going to be the better part of valor here, if we're going to be taking a gander at his room. And then one other thing, I actually need to check and make sure in my notes on whether or not this information got sent. One moment here. Okay. So actually, yes, it did. Joe, the information that I messaged you earlier yesterday regarding what your criminal contacts have told you, you are definitely in that neck of the woods.
So this is a pretty bad area, guys. And there's been some really, really shady shit going on. I don't know. Sounds like it might be mages or some stupid stuff like that. But it's like shady. We need to be really careful around here.
What, like the Tremere?
Yeah, something like that. Maybe? I don't know. Some weird ass shit. My contacts are just basically telling me that this is like there's been some weird going-ons lately.
Do any of you, Chet or Danny, do any of you have criminal contacts? All right, Chet.
Yes.
So this information was relayed to Liza earlier, but your criminal contacts have keyed you in on some local knowledge, and you would also know this being a local boy. There's been a lot of strange things happening in the more rundown sections of the city, such as this. Vagrants are getting snatched into dark alleyways, never to be seen again. Spooky, occult-style, almost cartel drug hits, leaning more towards the occult side of things. Rumors going around about strange people floating around. Yeah, it's there's a lot of weird stuff that's been going on that hasn't really gotten to anyone's radar yet.
And it's not me, right?
It is not you. Correct.
Okay. Because a lot of that sounds like things Chet would do for boss number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
I will relay that information to the group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So we
my
are
people
top
told me the
priority.
same.
Yep. Liza's contacts, the information lines up accurately, so it is confirmable.
Yeah, sounds like Tremere shit, but even more sciencey than them. Like even more weird and messed up.
Before we try to enter this apartment, can anybody see any Tremere shit on this building? Can anybody do that?
Liza, with Sense the Unseen, you will not see any signs of blood sorcery.
No wards or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any like Tremere wards or anything like that. Those things that you touch that make repel you and hurt you and all that stuff. Yeah, no, nothing like that.
Let me see if I can find our friend's room here. And I am going to step out of the vehicle. I am going to bat and use my metamorphosis.
Okay.
And I am going to fly around the windows of the apartment, look for an empty room or anything crazy in there.
All right. You want to go ahead and give me your rouse check for beast form, please?
Absolutely. I get hungrier.
All right. So you are now at hunger 2.
I am at hunger 2.
Yes. Okay. So there goes Danny again, doing more more of his gangrel stuff. And the next thing you know, there's a bat fluttering around, And Chet and Liza, you see him doing his thing as described. Danny, we'll say that the room is easy to spot enough. Just because of the fact that there is a dead body on the mattress.
I will fly back. Does he look like the description that we got of
Of Danny. I mean of Kevin, not
Kevin?
Yeah, of not not our Mark. No.
Okay. I fly back. Poof. Found Kevin.
He's inside?
Yeah, well, his former self is.
Oh, shit. Is there anybody else in there?
I didn't look for any other rooms. I guess we could go in and.
Did you see what may have caused it?
All you saw was a dead body. There may or may not have been some blood.
I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. It's definitely not like the room we just came out of.
All right. Well, why don't we go inside and check it out then?
Real fast, Danny just reminded me of something. He pulls his baseball bat, out of the van, puts it in a trash bag for easy carry.
There you go.
As the group is starting to go, I'll tap Chet on the shoulder. Hey, after this, you have any like pouches of O positive or anything on you?
Yeah.
Making sure. It's been a wild night. I want to make sure we don't get a little too crazy on us here.
I get you. Yeah, no, don't worry. It's fully stocked.
Now that Danny...
Now that I know,
yeah. Although it remains to be seen what Liza might think of that long term, but yes. So
I just thought you were a petty criminal, not just a criminal. Oh, Chet.
Turns out I'm multifaceted.
So, if you're going to attempt to enter the house, the front door is unlocked. This is exactly as how I described. This old house was probably built in the 1920s, 1930s, and over time, they ended up trying to cram as many bedrooms into this one house as they possibly could. More than likely illegally. If there's a code inspection in this building, it would probably not pass, and the building would probably get red tagged. But those buildings are unfortunately a dime a dozen in Sioux City. But inside the building, it's taken on the smell that, you know, a place that's served as a communal living area for, we'll say, multiple ethnic groups, multiple tenants in and out. The place has a funk to it. Just sour, rotten mildew. But the going off of Danny's inspection earlier, you do find Kevin's apartment easily enough. The front door is ajar.
Open the door up. Start looking.
Okay, so
is any light in the room, or is it?
The lights are off.
Okay.
Really quick,
Yeah.
I'd like to turn on Silence of Death.
Okay. All right. Silence of Death is active. We'll assume heightened senses. If you have it are active, everything is yes.
Eyes of the Beast.
Okay. So the all three of you are getting keyed up, getting tense, getting ready. There's no telling what's going to be on the, what's going to be waiting for you here when you actually start looking into the room. But the room itself is actually nice and neat and orderly. If you take into account that the tenant is laying dead on a futon, they're right by the window. There's a small little kitchenette that's been crammed into the corner of the house, or in the corner of the apartment. There's no exhaust hood. There's bare wires hanging out of the wall. But there's Kevin laying on his bed, pale as a sheet, eyes are open, just staring up at the ceiling.
Any marks on his neck?
There are, actually. They are not fang marks. There appears to be an expert incision on the carotid artery here in the neck. But for having a major severed artery, there's little to no blood in this room.
All right.
Even on
So
the bed?
they
Sorry. Go ahead.
so they just sucked it all out of him?
It's weird. I feel almost like they didn't want to use their fangs right away, and they decided to be fancy about it. Chet, you might know something about this. Do you know why this might be?
Yeah, chat.
Chet, you do know something about this. Chet as a
So
yeah.
I am aware of some people that are not as blessed as we have always been with the power of our blood, and their fangs may not be good enough to penetrate. So some of them have to cut it. These thin bloods.
Mm-hmm. And we'll say locally, the thin bloods have been kind of a they're definitely treated as second-class citizens. They're not actively persecuted like they might be in other domains, just because Sioux City is a smaller community. Everyone has to try to pretend to get along, and just with the way the demographics shook out, the thin blood population, they're growing slowly but surely. They're growing. But they haven't been subjected to any kind of kill on sight orders or any other ridiculous heavy-handed tactics that the CAM might use in other domains.
No branding.
The thin bloods get branded if they particularly fucked up. If you see a thin blood walking around Sioux City with a crescent moon in the middle of their forehead, you know that they're basically dead man walking. It's only a matter of time. They pissed off the wrong person, and it will eventually come back to bite them in the ass.
So this is a wonderful thin blood tactic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no tubes or anything like that, right?
They would have taken their equipment with them. Possibly. Yes, they're...
I mean...
Oh, those dirty thin bloods.
Mm-hmm.
Storyteller, do I know in character the background of Chet?
Yeah, you do.
Okay.
You might not know all of the particulars. Liza, with you being the more recent transplant, you might not know all of Chet's backstory. You know that Chet is he does not come from your typical Banu Hakim stock.
As you can tell.
Mm-hmm. He is very much not a professional hitman by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. So you can probably start to make some assumptions. Danny, you know the score better than Liza does.
So, what am I going to do with you, Chet?
I won the blood hunt, viewers.
Yes. Yes, Chet got himself a promotion. When he said he got promoted earlier, he wasn't meaning just, oh, hey, I'm in deeper in the CS. Mhm.
Chet, do you know of any angry Thin Bloods that might be around town right now?
All of them.
Do you know where I could find one that could possibly be of assistance, we'll call it, to us right now?
Yes. You know where there's some that you know where they some of them congregate.
Yes, possibly. Checking my notes.
You have not been given this information yet.
Okay.
I was waiting to see how things were going to progress. I didn't want to have anything. I wanted the flexibility here in the last half. Chet, there is a park about 6 blocks away. This is one of the older public parks in the city, and the park itself is only about the size of a city block, but once the streetlights come on and the kids are home at night, a different crowd hangs out here. Locally, your criminal contacts would know, this is for both Liza and Chet, that this park is one of the bigger drug exchange locations in this neighborhood. And in fact, Liza, you probably know the name of a few dealers in this area. Okay.
All right.
That being said, the regular drug trade is kind of dried up lately. There's not a the drug of choice here locally is meth, of course, but there are other substances that do make the rounds, and things are odd, and some of the drought locally for various illicit substances can be tied up to the fact that there's been a lot of drug dealers getting killed in town lately. And things are interesting.
So I'm gonna share that with Chet and Danny,
Okay.
and because why not? We all need to figure out how to get through this park, right? Yeah. So this is all like drug dealers are going missing too. So I don't know. Maybe Kevin was wrapped up in some other shit that we didn't know about.
I still think it's possibly of a Thin Blood scenario. Maybe they're doing some more of their little alchemy, and this is their style right now.
Sade seemed very smart to me. I don't think she'd waste or risk herself with somebody who may not be above the board. As above the board you can be in that relationship anyway.
Maybe she didn't know. I mean, she wouldn't be the first one who had gotten lied to by somebody and told that, their background's this when it's not and all that other good stuff. I mean, we see it all the time. This is kind of like par for the course, right?
Anyone want to toss his room?
I might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
He's dead anyway. He don't need to have it nice.
All right. I'm not gonna make y'all roll. I will say though that Liza's the one who stumbles upon the mother lode of information. So Liza, you have you found another little black book. This one also has names and dollar amounts in it.
And based on my criminal contacts and my dealings with the criminal underworld, would it make sense for me to assume that this might be like, you know, clients?
Possibly. Upon further review, your names actually match up with Danny's.
All right. Right. So it looks like this stuff is related to the stuff that you found in that hotel then.
We have the connection here.
Right.
The few kindred that I remember off the first one, they show up in this one, correct?
Yep.
Do I know of their clan? Like, of the one or two or three people that I see in here?
You recognize a Malkavian, a Toreador. There doesn't seem to be any connecting thread between these kindred.
No thin blood that I would know in this book at this time.
No, and why don't between Danny and Liza, why don't the two of you go ahead and give me let's look at intelligence and finance, or let's do resolve and streetwise.
Ooh, I can do that one.
Or let's do wits and wits and finance.
Okay, we're gonna go resolve and streetwise with that one.
Resolve and Streetwise is literally my best dice.
Yeah. Could this be considered black market related?
Yeah, you can get a specialty die added in.
4 successes for me.
Okay.
Kevin's phone,
Yes.
5.
is it around?
Yes. We will get to that there.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So between the two of you getting 4 and 5 successes, you've come to the realization that these are not dollar amounts at all. When you compare the names and the numbers, you're sitting there and you're thinking that this is some kind of it's a segmented ledger of some sort. You've got part of the picture here with these two books. This points to there being some other kind of master reference that might be able to help you untangle what's going on here. At least with the books. Now, Chet, with the phone. It is, of course, locked.
Thumbprint
You
or face?
You ghoulishly you manage to undo the biometric lock with you're sitting there, you're trying different fingers, and Danny and Liza, of course, are watching him just like, okay, just nonchalantly trying to use this dead body to open up the phone, but it gets results.
I ain't gonna complain. God, it's where it's gonna get us.
Mm-hmm. So, Chet, I mean, you basically have this guy's entire life in the palm of your hand, and the phone itself actually seems to be relatively bereft of information. There's no social media apps installed on it. There's phone numbers, of course, that have been called. There's texts that have been received and sent. Some of the most recent texts happen to feature an exchange between him and Sade. Love you, babe. Love you too. Still out of town for work. See you soon. Love you. That was from Sade to Kevin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. There's some text exchanges with it's just initials in your phone or in the caller ID there, but it is PK. And this text exchange is actually the most fruitful for you yourself. The text exchange consists of this PK and Kevin trying to exchange and coordinate pick up and drop off locations for the stuff is all that's referenced. There are multiple, exchanges going back a couple of months, and then the most recent text exchange between PK and Kevin stated from PK, just need one more, then we should be fine. Kevin replies, that's what you said 5 times ago. PK responds, just this last one, promise. Kevin says, no dice, go fuck yourself. And that was the last text exchange about a week ago.
But when was the last text he sent, like in any of his texts?
That was actually the most recent text would have been to Sade.
Okay.
And that was I love you. So
that was like the other day.
No, yeah, the Sade exchange was like the most recent one in the log, and that happened yesterday.
I'm going to jump on my Discord.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Sade's account. I'm going to send message. Do you know a PK from Kevin?
All right, so you're sending that from Kevin to Sade.
No, from me.
To Sade.
Because we've already made that established that we have a connection between the two.
Yes. She responds back, no, question mark.
Thank you. So bad. Who's this PK? Let's look through the book and see if I can't find a PK.
Okay. Let's go ahead and give me a intelligence and awareness. Anyone wanting to study the book can definitely make an intelligence and awareness roll.
I'm just wondering if I should ask boss number 2 about PK.
All right, so
Danny's got a 4.
Okay. Would we get Liza 2? Okay. All right, so let's see here. Liza, you happen across a few, PKs. Nothing seems to really jump out in your mind as you're flipping through it. Danny, you've got 2 that kind of stand out. One of them is going to be Prince Kensington, who you recognize that name from a. They think themselves the prince, but they're basically just a trumped up baron pretending to play Cam. They are located in, we'll say, where's a good spot for them? Put them in Boulder, Colorado. There you are. Boulder, Colorado, right on the fringe of the Free State. Or at least, hopefully, Free State. But then there's also a Pastor Katy that you see on there. And when you go and you compare the two dollar values, there is a very very large variance between the two books.
Does it say where? Do we know where Pastor Katy is out of?
Nope. The name does not ring a bell to either of you three.
Which book has the bigger number?
That would be Kevin's book.
Did we ask Sade what Kevin did for a living?
Nope.
I have a reckoning that he might be an accountant for somebody.
Discord.
Okay, so you get onto Discord and ask Sade what Kevin did for a living. She responds back, he's a greeter at Walmart.
I respond back, no, seriously, what does he do?
I just told you.
Nothing else.
He
Very important.
Why did you find something that makes you say otherwise?
I found a book.
Okay, question mark.
One last time. Do you know if he had any other jobs?
Not that I know of.
Thank you.
When he wasn't with me or at work, he was at home playing WoW. There's not a PC in this apartment that you can see.
Okay, well, he was lying to her.
A lot. Also,
Didn't I say that? Didn't I already say that?
No, you were right.
They
how nice
lie.
is his phone?
This is
Say again, Ben. I didn't catch that.
How nice is this phone? Like it has the biometric scanner.
This thing is, it's like the very first iPhone gen that let you use biometrics, and it doesn't look to be in the best shape. The screen is definitely busted all to hell.
and it has no social media.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have.
This
Don't they
this
call
is
those like burners or something?
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys would know better than me, but yeah, I'm pretty sure those are burner phones.
You don't text your girl on the burner phone, though.
He did. Made it work, apparently. Chad, can I see that phone real quick?
Of course, it's just for business.
Yeah, apparently. I'm going to go to PK
Mhm.
and go, all right, I got your stuff. And send. I'm not really selling it to anybody. I just picked up the phone, just typed out.
Okay, a list of things that the storyteller did not anticipate. Congratulations. Thank you.
Has Danny told us that he's gonna is he sharing that this is going on?
No, I just did it.
Okay.
You shit. And Steve knows when I say that, I say it out of love. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, so it's a long time before you get a text back. We're talking like several minutes. So the two of you, or the three of you, can definitely communicate here in the apartment.
So I texted PK.
But what if PK's the one that killed him?
Then we find out where PK is and hopefully find an abducted Lasombra.
Now, I'm starting to care less and less about this Sombra and more about my ass not getting, raked over the coals here.
I mean, this is the only way out of it. And I feel like something's afoot to make us look bad to begin with, we might as well start taking some directions where, some turns where they won't think that we take a turn to. If this person comes back and knows that he's dead and wonders why I'm texting from his phone, then we know exactly who did it. And maybe we can stake out this place so when they come and try to find out where the body is again, we can get him there. Or the person thinks that he's alive and we'll find out a place to meet him with. And then we ask this person if he has any clue what the hell's going on here. Because I'm running out of ideas.
We probably
Yeah.
shouldn't wait in his bedroom then.
Yeah, we should wait outside.
Yeah, let's
Like,
take the party
Find
outside.
somewhere to hide.
I tossed something over his face because it's looking at all weird, straight up.
Looking at me.
It's looking at me.
So you all managed to find an alley that you can duck into. You do, Danny, get the text back from KK finally. St. Joseph's Church, 10 minutes.
Well, folks, we have a destination to go to.
Cool.
The van is just a gray. It's what's on the outside of the van?
It's basically an unmarked kind of van. It's painted to be nondescript.
Okay. Let's get to the church before 10 minutes goes up. We'll text him to let him know to find the right corner. We find PK. We throw him in your van since we got restraints, and we get some answers.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Does anyone need a weapon from the back?
No, I got my own.
I don't plan on getting hit.
Okay.
Nobody plans on getting hit. Who taught you? Come on, guys.
I'm like,
Nobody
I
ever
understand.
plans on getting hit until they get hit, right?
that's true. I understand that a lot of people see Gangrel and they think ferocious beasts and stuff, and I'm more like a domesticated cat. Just throwing it out there.
That's not what I'm saying, but
Like I
you gotta be able to take a hit.
can take a hit. I'm just not planning on it.
You know who couldn't take a hit?
This guy that worked at the dead body.
No, the
He's gonna walk
guy.
out.
What was that, Ben? I didn't catch that.
The guy I ate. Wow.
Ow.
How
Okay.
delightful. Like
Uh,
really delightful. Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna go ahead. The St. Joseph's Church is actually just like 6 blocks south from where you're at right now. There's a lot of real estate crammed in this this midtown section. Lots and lots and lots of houses. But the St. Joseph's Church, coincidentally enough, the block that it sits on is actually kitty corner to the park that I was previously discussing. IRL, this church is still open. But in the world of darkness, this church has been shuttered for quite some time. We'll say that you do park like a block or two away. You all are smart. You're not going to park the damn thing right out front. But this, the neighborhood hasn't changed much. The church itself, all of the stained glass windows were actually like removed architecturally from the building and then bricked over. And then a real estate developer tried making a shot at turning this into more houses, or maybe more apartments, but couldn't get the zoning to clear. And so the church has sat empty for the past 7 years. You're staking out the neighborhood, and you don't really see a whole lot of activity out front of the church.
Okay.
And you've got Roughly 5 minutes. It wasn't that far of a drive.
Chet, park someplace that he'll be able to see us. Not in front of the church. I don't want to be in front of the church, but someplace that.
So we look like we're not amateurs, but he thinks he's better than us still.
Absolutely.
This ain't my first rodeo.
I'm going to send back. Still don't trust you, but what you need is in the back of the van in this part of the parking lot.
Okay.
I'm going to get out and make sure he gets in the van. Once he gets in the van, Liza, you think you can get him situated in some of these restraints?
Well, I prefer not to do any torture, but I'm sure we can, get him at least restrained.
I will make sure that you only have to deal with the beginning of torture, not the actual aspect of torture.
Right. Sounds good to me.
All right. So
Chet, you be cool.
So Chet and Liza are chilling in the van. I'm assuming, Liza, you got up in a shotgun, or are you sitting in the back as well? Or are you still in the back?
I'm in the back, and I'm going to actually be looking at the window just in case Danny comes up against any trouble.
Okay.
In case our friend brought any friends of his own.
Okay.
I am going to open the back door just a little bit so it's ajar.
Okay.
So if you walk up on it, you might see that it's open, but from a distance, you wouldn't see it. And then to the side of it, I'm going to pop my shadow cloak.
Okay.
Which I will need to roll a rouse check for that. correct?
Cloak of Shadows is not a rouse check.
I don't play with Oblivion powers that often, so I'm making sure.
The level 1 is fine. The level 2 is the one that requires the rouse check. The level 2 you
Okay.
can move. The level 1 you have to stay put. I can't remember the names right now. It's
Wait,
late.
is this the obfuscate power or the oblivion power?
The Oblivion power.
Oh.
This is Shadow Cloak.
Oh!
Vampire shapes ambient
First
shadows. to
cloak of
conceal.
shadows. What great naming.
Right.
Yeah, let's switch them. Let's do the same thing except running. Yeah.
I never noticed that. Thank you, Ben. So,
So I'm putting myself. I'm cloaking myself with the Oblivion shadows.
oh, that's right.
on
Yes,
the
we do
corner
have-
of the.
Mm-hmm. We don't want to know how Gangrel has Oblivion. We're not gonna. Yeah, we're gonna leave that alone to be discovered later. So you are sitting there, and nothing, and then eventually you see this little mousy brunette woman walk out of the back of the church and round to the front. She is, oddly enough, wearing something resembling a Roman Catholic priest outfit. And she starts walking up to the van. Liza. Chet-
Damn, Pastor Katie.
Exactly. That was PK, Pastor Katie.
Damn, Chet, it's Pastor Katie. She's, wow. We thought it was a guy.
The guy in Boulder?
Oh, that was Prince Kensington.
Mhm.
Yes. So she walks to the end of the sidewalk, and she's not crossing the street to get into the parking lot, but she's standing there just staring at the van. And that's when she flips off the van and starts to rush back into the church.
I'm gonna use blink.
Also, same.
Um,
So,
so shoot, I haven't. Okay, blink is.
I'm on the page. It's
Thank you.
255, or if it's the physical book, 253.
mm-hmm,
One rouse check,
mm-hmm,
dex and athletics,
mm-hmm.
or as needed. Storyteller. determines-
Okay, pass my rouse check.
I-
Okay, so Liza, you are good for hunger. Okay, Ben or Chet, you are now at hunger 2, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna have to. They're moving. You're gonna have to. We're gonna have to roll this off here. Yep.
Yeah, dex. Is it dex and athletics?
Yep. It's,
Yes.
it's Dex and athletics.
Finally. How did that do so bad? I'm gonna burn a willpower.
Okay.
Damn it.
3 successes.
Okay.
Earn that willpower.
Ooh. Oh, that's so much better.
There you go.
That's 9 successes. I got 2 sets of crits. Damn.
Nice. And those are just regular crits. Those aren't messies.
No, because I don't have any. I don't have any hunger
She's
right
still
now.
on
that's
zero.
right. Yeah, you're the only one at
Yeah.
hunger 0 still. Durr. All right. Well, there we go.
Real
So.
one's blowing our rouse checks.
Mm-hmm. So, Danny, you're standing there, and you see this woman flip off the van, and before you know it, the driver's door and the side passenger door that Liza was manning fly open and just slam open, and the next thing you know, you just see 2 blurs of motion, and they are across the street and right at her before you even have a chance to move.
I have the opportunity to do an action with blink, don't I?
Yep,
Okay, so
you both do, actually, yes. Yeah, Liza, since you scored higher, you get first move, and then we will go to Chet.
So Liza, as she's going up, she is also going to use that speed to jump up very quickly and do a flying side kick right into the chest of this woman. I am going to pull my punches, so to speak, because I don't want to hurt her. I don't want to kill her. I just want to knock her down and potentially knock her unconscious.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull that. Like I'm gonna control it.
Okay. All right, so that's your action. What's Chet gonna do?
I'm going to grapple her.
Okay. All right, so the way I'm seeing this here, Liza, you go. This is going to be the order of events as I foresee them. Liza's going to jump, do her kick. We're going to roll that off, and then once that has played out, we will go ahead and we will do Chet's grapple. Okay, so Liza, you are going to pull your punches here. Give me a dex and brawl, of course. She is going to try to sidestep as her only action this round. And what'd you get?
7 successes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that was that. Okay. You.
Chet catches a
Yeah.
limp body.
That's basically how this is going to play out. Because, well, yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, and you had how many again?
7.
7. So 4 rounded down is 2. So she's taken 2 superficial. and then we will go ahead and let Chet do his grapple. So
Awesome.
this Liza's blur is just a little bit faster. Squarely connects, but since you're moving at about the same relative speed, it's like you're walking right side by side with her, and you are able to just, yep. Ooh, this sounds hefty.
Not as hefty as hers, but I got 3 successes.
Okay.
As I try to put her into a rear naked choke.
Okay, that works. She used her action to sidestep or try to sidestep the kick, which actually plays right into where you were standing, and you've got her locked up. Danny, what are you going to be doing?
I'm watching this being taken care of. I'm assuming I'm going to start walking with the shadow cloak on. Is she conscious or is she unconscious?
She's conscious.
Okay, I'm going to use that as an intimidation factor as I walk up towards her.
Yep, you can intimidate with shadow cloak. Yes, sir.
I'm going to walk up and I'm just going to. You could speak in shadow form as well.
Yeah. Well, it's shadow cloak. You're just covered by darkness. You are not darkness.
Okay, making sure.
Yep.
These two are going to ask you questions. I hope you answer correctly. And in the intimidation form of, I guess, not having a person around saying that in her ear.
Mm-hmm.
As for the others, I will let them know. I'm going to try to go inside and scope out the place before anything else big happens.
Okay.
If you want to bring her to the van.
Okay. So, why don't you go ahead and give me a charisma and intimidation there, Danny?
Okay, I'm going to burn a willpower too on my charisma just to make this a big pile.
Okay. Or you mean rouse? Are you going to rouse? Is that what you meant?
Yeah, I'm going to rouse. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll take that one. That's a good one. I passed that.
Okay.
2, 4. That's back to charisma. 1, 2, 5.
5. All right, which beats my 2. So, Danny, your words have definitely put the fear of Cain into her. She is still completely caught flat-footed by the fact that she just got her shit rocked and didn't even see it happen. But she's of course not breathing, and Chet, yeah, she's definitely, now that you're the one holding her, she's a thin blood.
It still probably hurts though.
Yeah, oh yeah, yep. But yeah, just the way that she's carrying herself. You've spent plenty of time as a thin blood. You know the signs. You know when a thin blood might be pretending to act fully kindred, and vice versa. Yeah, she is definitely a thin blood. So Chet and Liza, the two of you, I'm assuming you're gonna take Pastor Katie back to the van and secure her.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So Chet, we take her back, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
And Danny, are you if you're going to try to get into the church, the front doors are locked.
We're going to misform again. How old is the church? Would I be able to get into the?
There's plenty of seams that you're going to be able to find your way through. Knocked out, like I said before, the windows getting bricked over. There's bricks missing. It's easily accessible in mist form.
Gotcha. So we will take the slow form of
Okay.
mist,
Okay.
unless I hear somebody coming from the inside.
Nope.
Okay. We are at hunger 3.
Okay.
Hey,
Yep.
you thought giving us hunger 0 was going to be an advantage.
And you're not at 4.
I would have had 4, so it's working out just fine.
Mm-hmm. So, you do obtain entry into the building, and inside here, it's like you've walked into another world. The walls have been completely gutted. The there were all of the like the pews and the side altars, the main altar, everything originally had been removed from this place. And you can see where there's old scaffolding where they had tried to put apartments in this building. God knows why, but real estate. That being said, however, you can see that the trappings of a Catholic church have been kind of makeshift put in. One of the side altars the carpentry doesn't match the other carpentry of this other piece. So everything if you were to take a guess, the occupants of this building have stolen, absconded, and or salvaged other we'll say trappings from Catholic churches and made them work. So, inside, as you've finished processing the interior, there is a large group of individuals inside this building. You count 5 kindred, or at least you think they're kindred, and 3 more who are definitely mortal. And they are all peeking out through the various cracks and whatnot through the front of the building. Kind of keeping watch, seeing what's going on. And on the center altar is the staked body of the kindred you were sent to find. So he is here inside the church right this instant. And I'm going to point out that 8 on 3 is not a very good no.
No, I am going to mist my ass out. I am going to stay in mist form as I float along back to the van. I will like to reappear inside the van with everybody,
Okay.
if possible.
Okay. So while Danny was off doing that, Chet and Liza, you were having an adventure in the van, getting Pastor Katie restrained. Now, Liza, you in particular find a lot of this distasteful. So you definitely, I can see having Chet do a majority of the work.
That's cool. He's a specialty in grappling.
But once you've gotten her locked up and across the street, she knows that there's no point in trying. So we did have to take a little pause there because of a technical issue. So Ben has, or Chet has, Chet and Liza have frog marched Pastor Katie over to the van. She is not resisting, and just with the lock that Chet has her in, she is not going to be in any position to be speaking unless released. It does still take air to speak, even as a kindred. You don't have to breathe, but you still need it to activate your vocal cords. So, how are we going to get this done here, Chet?
Well, we did say before there were restraints in the back of the van, so we can, hook her up. Hook her up's the wrong word, but restrain her with those.
Yeah, no hooking up.
Yeah.
No hooking up, Chet. Just restraints.
Yes. Cinching. Cinching is the most intense verb you're allowed to use here.
There we go.
But she's not struggling. She knows there's no point in making this any worse than what it has to be. But she is glaring daggers at you, Liza. And you didn't have to. Well, wait, she can't grab her chat. She can't. No, she's bound. She's not. Yeah.
It'll pass. Just that will pass.
Who the fuck are you people?
Oh, who are we? Who the hell are you?
Chet knows. Maybe. This is, rumors, Chet, have kind of filled your ears about a charismatic thin blood who's been getting the flock riled up, so to speak. So you've got a sinking suspicion that this might be her. You still have your ear plugged into the thin bloods.
I think she's the troublemaker we've been hearing about in this part of town.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. That's bullshit.
Is it?
Look, I want to talk to my lawyer.
Have you been making people disappear?
I ain't saying shit until I talk to a lawyer.
Listen, there
are no lawyers.
Secured in the back of a van.
We don't have lawyers.
What do you mean you don't? No.
Chad, does she know what she is? She knows what she is, right?
She has to.
I mean, I know what I am.
You know you don't have a lawyer then. You know that. You've got to know that. Oh, come on.
I have no fucking idea who you people are. I don't know who what the fuck is up with this van? I need answers. Who the fuck are you people? Ooh, Danny, you just posed a very important question. Yeah, she can, as long as she doesn't have... Danny actually just asked a question in out-of-character chat. Thin bloods can be staked as long as they don't have the... there's that flaw that makes them just as physically weak as mortals. If you stake a thin blood and they have that flaw, it will fucking kill them.
Gotcha.
And I guess there's no way of knowing that they have that flaw, so...
But look, I know I'm some kind of vampire, and I know that I can do shit. Who the...
So where do you think the lawyers are going to come from? Do you think you're going to get a lawyer that's not going to want to have you, like, I don't know, burned in the sun or some other shit like that? Like, where do you think you're going to get a lawyer? You're a fucking monster.
We're going to take you to night
just
court?
like me and just like him. You're a fucking monster, just like both of us. So the only thing that's going to happen if you go to see the lawyer is that lawyer is going to throw you in a pit of fire. That's about it. You get that right?
This is bullshit. This is absolute... Just you fucking wait. My people inside are gonna come get me.
I use Daunt.
Yeah.
I'm just... Shut up. Hold on.
I believe that is charisma and intimidation.
With add your presence onto your
Thank you.
intimidation check.
Yes.
Okay, so presence, and that's charisma and intimidation. I'm gonna rouse my charisma because why not? I passed. I'm gonna burn another willpower. And that's 3 successes.
Okay, tie goes to the acting vampire. You call upon your more vicious side, and the beast expresses itself on your face as you snarl at her, and you just exude "don't fuck with me" energy. She almost seems to snarl at you in defiance, and she bares her fangs instinctively, and you actually see that they're little, short, stubby. They don't even have a point. They're almost flat. They're as long as normal vampire fangs, but they're blunt. But you've shut her up.
Did you kill Kevin?
No, I didn't kill Kevin. And if you're really going to try to get the drop on somebody, don't text them from some dead fuck's phone. I just came out here to look and see who was stupid enough to try it.
It worked.
I mean, it did.
You're,
What does that say about you?
She snarls that snarl again, showing off her pathetic flat teeth.
Listen, if you didn't kill Kevin, then who did?
Brother Zeke, he's inside. And that is where we will pivot over to Danny. Danny, you've been in mist form hanging out in the church.
I am going to, like I said, we're going to misform out and misform back to the van.
Okay. And that is, and you catch the tail end of the conversation just now.
So as I would like to form in next to Pastor Katie.
And she, fuck!
Is she one of us?
She's a thin blood.
I grab my steak.
Might not want to do that.
We're going to make this really easy. You give us all the answers that we want, and we don't have to find out if this kills you or not.
And that is where we will end the one shot. So, yeah, we had a little discussion. This is going to be a to be continued question mark. Just because we didn't want to go too far over in time, and I wanted to give everyone the opportunity to promote their stuff, say hi to everybody, and I just want to say this has been a lot of fun. I've had a blast. We're going to go ahead and flip it over to Steve to start, who that mask looked like it's kicked your ass, sir.
I did, but it's I hurt for
Worth
my
it.
craft. It's worth it. I love masks. I have no problem wearing them. Hi everybody, I'm Steve Rieger. You can find me at Darth Generico. I should have a link tree somewhere in the chat here. The things that I'm working on with Martlet right now, we are in the middle of Death Pack in the Queen City right now. We are looking to film the second episode while putting out the first episode, and some various time slots that might help us gain a little bit more of the family if possible.
Mm-hmm.
Also working on a couple of different items, a couple different one-shots that are going through, and a revitalization, hopefully, of Indianarchs.
Things took a little bit of a spin, and we're gonna, yeah,
We'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Praise
Preset.
It's preset. Oh,
Preset.
Gotta read what the book says. Okay, I was close to it anyway. Reset.
I'm gonna praise set is all the book says
Reset.
about Indianapolis. All right, so we're gonna flip it on over to Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben, Big Dad Walker from Carrying Comfort Studios. I was playing Chet, the world's worst Banu Hakim. For now, reasons you totally know. Tonight, you can check out my wife running her first stream game ever with, I believe, Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Bluebeard's Bride. It's a very cool Powered by the Apocalypse game. Feminine horror. It's rad, and I think she's gonna do a great job. And then on Wednesday, I am running a Delta Green game for our charity drive, to wrap up our charity drive for the Trevor Project. It's got a lot of neat people in it, and you can donate to influence the game, in which I will be hunting the players for sport.
I do love me some Delta Green action. That's yeah.
They're not actually agents; they are all just regular people.
Oh, what'd you? Oh, Ben.
Hunting them for sport.
Oh my god. And that's yeah, for the record, Steve and I were both approached to be on the Delta Green game. Well, actually all of Martlet was approached to be on the Delta Green game, but it's like we're showing, yeah, we've got our season finale London's Bleeding the same night.
You've
but
got your priorities in order.
there are VODs and there
Absolutely.
are yes, there's going to be plenty of opportunity for lots more Martlet and Carrying Comfort love. Plenty of opportunity.
Possibly Putinesca love.
I do love me some Putinescas.
I believe my wife screamed when she heard that Putinesca could possibly be on the Martlet chain there, and yeah, I think she wants to play Tony.
I run a shit post of a vampire game where everyone is a Putinesca. It takes place in Philadelphia, and it's exactly as dumb as you think it is.
I fucking love it.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful disaster. It's lovely.
So we'll go ahead and we'll wrap up with Joe.
Hi, I am Joanna. You will find me at Hyrule Gardener. You will find me actually coming up next. We're raiding into Van City by Night, Vancouver by Night. We show up every Saturday, and I play Abigail there. So you will find me there. You will find me on some of Vancouver by Night's various Patreon exclusives. But other than that, I'm basically relegated to one-shots due to my schedule. However, I have potentially, maybe, I think, committed myself to a game of Changeling. So we will see how that goes. More news soon. But yeah, so I absolutely adored playing with all of these fine folks here. They're all amazing. Go check all of their stuff out. And we'll raid into Vancouver by Night. You can see some of our stuff and delve into darkness. And then we'll raid into Rolling D20s, where they are doing a super special something where it's just before the season premiere of Philly by Night, which will be returning, but they're doing something interesting. I'm not 100% sure what it is yet.
Is this
but,
the zombie trucker game thing again?
No, zombie
What?
the crab truckers was last week. I'm not sure what they're doing, but I think Prince might actually not be GMing this time. I think he actually might get to play.
Ooh.
So that could be potentially pretty awesome.
Wait.
So
They ran big motherfucking crab trucks.
yes,
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 they did.
they did. And
I've been trying to
that-
convince Wes to let me run it on stream.
and that
It's
that
made it
is
on a
why
stream.
and that is
Show him
why
the VOD.
Vampire Takeover is so awesome, because when we don't have Vampire play, we just play, they just play other shit, so it's awesome.
So yeah, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and bring this all to a close. It has been an absolute pleasure to run this one shot. Ben, it's been great. Yeah, there's there's so much I want to do with Chet. There's so much I want to do with Danny. There's so much I want to do with Liza. That's the fun thing about these one shots is that they can always, like there's so much. You guys are fun. They're fun characters, and I want to see more of this. We'll say brute force Sherlock is kind of what we got going on here. It's a brute force Sherlock.
Brute smarts.
Yes.
Brute smarts.
This is brute smarts. There, because Anyways, so London's Bleeding, Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Central, finale. We've got the Delta Green thing. See who you want to see. We would
there's an amazing situation of you can have two Twitch streams that are going on at the same time. So you can show love to both at the same time. Make sure you're donating to the Trevor Project and checking out Delta Green while you're checking out our special guest that's popping up on London's Bleeding.
Do it!
Do yourself a favor, watch both of them.
Oh, yes. So I keep teasing the Cult of the Blood God game. It's coming. We're working on it. Session zeros.
Anticipation.
Mm-hmm. And yes, for those of you with the Blood Gods book, if you open up to towards the beginning, you can kind of figure out what we have going on here with this particular one shot. But anyways, you all have a good rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the Vampire Saturday Takeover. We love you all. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.